Hey everybody, and welcome to FPSGeneral. My name is Ben, and thank you for stopping by. As you guys can see, this is some Battlefield 4 content for you guys. It is Flood Zone Conquest, which arguably is my favorite map and mode. So, I know you guys have been asking like crazy for Battlefield 4 content, and I'm happy to say that I am going to provide it for you guys. Expect Battlefield 4 videos until the next Battlefield game, of course, probably 4 or 5 times a week. So you guys might be wondering what I think of this game so far. I can sum it down into one word for you guys. Awesome. This game is incredible. I've only had small errors in the game so far. I mean, this is just a truly great FPS. Let's start off with the campaign. The campaign is long. It's really long, but it's not so long to make you bored. It's twists and turns in the story at every little part of it. The gameplay is rich and strong, and I just love it. It's really good, it's realistic, unlike most Call of Duty campaigns, and I'm having a ton of fun playing through it. I mean, I haven't even finished it yet, and I've probably logged 15 hours in it. It's so good. I love it. And then, the best part of the game, multiplayer. You know, they don't necessarily have a third mode, like zombies, or safeguard, or extinction, or any crap like that, but let me just put it this way, I love it that way. This game is simple enough for anyone who hasn't had experience with FPS games before, or Battlefield for that example, but it's complex enough for the veteran of the game, and also for people to play for long periods of time without getting too bored. And the multiplayer is so rich, it's so good. Let's start off with maps. The maps in this game are beautiful, they're rich, they're dynamic, they are accessible to everybody. I mean, you can get from one place to another on the map multiple ways, unlike in Call of Duty where you have set lanes. There's so many places to climb, so many different things you can blow up, and the destructible maps, that's huge. I love it. You know, Call of Duty is only starting to do something about that, and basically it started off with Battlefield, and it's gonna stay with Battlefield, and I love it. I just really do. And the maps are interactive too. Based on time or user elements, the maps will change with the game. For instance, in Parasol Storm, because of a time element, eventually a hurricane will come in and it will change the way the map plays. It'll start larger waves. It'll change the way the boats move around. Heck, it'll even change the way that it's played on land because of the rain. It will decrease your shooting range because you won't be able to see as far. And the wind makes it so you can't hear the footsteps of the guy creeping up behind you to slash your guts out, you know? And then the user element. I mean, in Flood Zone, if you destroy the levee, it'll flood the map, changing the way the map plays and how you get around on it. And that's user elements that's determined off of whether or not you've destroyed the levee. That's huge. That's a really big deal. The fact that you can do that to a map, it's great. It's realistic. I love it. I also like the fact that all the maps are usable in the smaller game modes. For instance, if you have that giant map that's the size of 10 Call of Duty maps in something as small as like a domination game or a team deathmatch, nobody's ever going to see each other kill each other. That's why the maps scale down in size. Each of the maps do. And I think that that's a really great thing, and I think that's a great option for Battlefield. I think it did a great job with that. Just the maps in general are awesome. And they've done a really good job of making sure that the map plays a huge element in the gameplay itself. And each gunfight is determined by where you're standing in the map. If you're not standing behind a solid enough surface, they can get you through it. Heck, they can even blow up the surface and you with it. Or at least just blow it up and open up the line of sight for them to kill you. You can't do that in Call of Duty. The weapon selection is massive. There's so many different kinds of sights. There's so many different kinds of guns, and they're all realistic. In Call of Duty, you deal with a lot of guns that are a little bit far-fetched. They're not overtly far-fetched, but they're far-fetched enough that their technology is at least 30 to 40 years in the future for us. But here in Battlefield, you're playing with actual guns that actual militaries use, and that's a huge deal. The guns even look and play like they're supposed to in real life. So, I just love it. And in fact, when you're shooting in Battlefield, it feels like you're actually shooting a gun in real life. You know, you got the recoil, you've got the sway to deal with. You know, everything in the game just feels so balanced between the guns. Each gun has its role, and it's the foil to another gun or another player. Everything has its role, and it's great. I love it. In fact, they even have different kinds of guns to accomplish different long-range tasks. If you're more of a spray and pray kind of person, you can put on a submachine gun if you want, or you can put on a rocket launcher and it's not going to penalize you. You know, you can do that. And then overall, there's no one gun like in Call of Duty that just trumps all the others. Each gun has its own specific things that make it great, and its own specific faults that make it crappy in situations. And I think that the fact that you have to actually learn that firsthand makes the game just incredible. It makes the gameplay intriguing, and it makes the long-range playability of the game viable. Let's move on to vehicles. Well, first off, the fact that they have vehicles in this game, basically bringing it into an entirely different league from Call of Duty, and that's great. It's so much fun to be able to play with vehicles in this game. I still haven't mastered how to take off and land and do all sorts of stuff with, like, air vehicles, but boats and cars, I guarantee you, I got that nailed down. And it's fun. It is so much fun. I mean, I can run around the map in a T-90 tank, then pick up a rocket launcher and take down someone else's. It's awesome. I love it. And on top of that, the vehicles are balanced against foot soldiers and vehicles alike. One tank is not going to destroy the entire map and kill the entire other enemy team. No, they make it so that your different weapons that each player carries can actually take down those tanks, can actually provide a decent foil against them. And I think that that's incredible, the fact that they can do that and include that in with the game and make everything so balanced. It provides for good, non-rage-worthy gameplay. I mean, normally when you have one gun that kind of kills everybody else on the map, like in Call of Duty, you know, hint, hint, you know, you have sorts of rage issues. Like if you're trying to level up another gun that isn't that, like, god gun, you're going to have a real bad time and you're probably going to punch a hole in your wall, which, sadly, I have a couple times. The leveling up in this game is also beyond what Call of Duty is even dreaming of at this time. I mean, you have to level up each individual kit. You level up each individual type of vehicle. You level up your overall character, too. And that makes this game so much deeper than Call of Duty. I mean, in Call of Duty, you're just going for overall XP, not gun XP. Black Ops 2 did it, and it was great. And then, of course, they stopped it. But in Battlefield, like I said, you have overall character, you have vehicle, you have gun XP, you have class XP, you have, like, what do you call that? Kit XP. Everything is just so many layers, and it's an intellectual game as well as an active, reflex, heart-pounding, adrenaline-pounding kind of game, and I love it. This game, the multiplayer at least, is so well put together, it's unbelievable. My only complaint? They don't have enough maps to satisfy me. That said, the gameplay is great. The game itself is amazing. There are some small issues. Yes, some small ones. Ones that Call of Duty actually has fixed. First off, the frame rate seems a little variable on console, especially on a PS3 when this was clearly built for next gen. And PC, of course, because PC's a little bit better for Battlefield. The frame rate seems variable to keep up with the gameplay, and I have had some stopping in-game just outright of it. It freezes a lot, sometimes it crashes. That's an issue, but that's an issue that's usually solvable by hardware. I had a game that was sitting on there that I wasn't playing anymore, I deleted it, I haven't had too many issues since. It's hard drive, it's memory, it's just, it takes up a lot of space, and you gotta be prepared for that, but if you get past that, it's a great game. I haven't had too many lag issues. The game is very smooth that way, and I love it. And it runs like a well-oiled machine. I've also had occasional issues with matchmaking, but I think that's just a small little glitch on my internet and not so much with the game. However, it doesn't keep searching for new ones, it just keeps trying to get me into the same match, which I don't know if that's good or bad. I just don't think that it's the best option for smooth gameplay. And my last complaint is not a major one because we have the internet now, but I would like to see maybe a better tutorial for early players. I know you have the pop-ups during the game, but those are very few and very far between, especially for a newer player like me. And I'd like to see maybe a tutorial or maybe a guide in-game that could help me with my gameplay and could help me learn the ropes inside the game a little bit better and a little bit faster than just flying by the seat of my pants. Of course, I do have, FPSGeneral.com, hint hint, your source for guides and stuff to help you improve your gameplay. Again, hint hint. Anyway, though, my complaints are minor. The game, I give it an A+. This is an amazing game, and I have to say, in overall game quality, this thing is at least 2 grades higher than Call of Duty Ghosts at its release. I think my favorite part of this game so far, though, is not so much the fact that each player has to be a great player, because you can be an average player and do relatively well in the game. What really will prevent you from doing well is if you're not willing to work with your teammates. And that, my friends, is something that Call of Duty is truly missing. So if you guys like the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're going to have more Battlefield 4 content coming out probably almost every other day, or every day, depending. So make sure you stick around for that. Anyway, guys, I'm Ben. Thanks again for stopping by. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, guys. Hey, guys, I want to throw in one last thing. I do realize that Battlefield 4 is definitely a superior game to Call of Duty Ghosts. That's not even really something anyone can kind of debate about, because it just kind of is. But Call of Duty is a different type of game. Call of Duty is a first-person shooter that entirely relies on the shooter for skill and for strategy. It's not about the same things that Battlefield is. Call of Duty will always have a special place in my heart. It's a great game. I play professionally. I grind it. I play it with my friends. I love it. I always have loved it. I probably always will. And that's why I'm not going to omit it from my life and from uploading it to the channel daily. That said, I think that I can make some room in my heart for Battlefield, especially when they make a great game like this. But don't confuse me with saying that Battlefield as a franchise is better than Call of Duty, because I'm not like that. I'm just saying that Battlefield 4, as the quality of the game, is better than Call of Duty Ghosts. Thanks again for watching, guys. Peace out.